Recording, we are live. Sharing my screen. Give me 1 second.
Oh.
Yes, sir. Litecoin, Litecoin, Litecoin. My baby. My favorite. Favorite pick. I figure out where to put people's faces. They're always in the way. So, the first question I was getting asked earlier is, what the hell is the RSI? So that's this guy here. It's an indicator that I'm not sure exactly. I think it follows on volumes. So basically it shows the buying and selling pressure and how they interact. So I follow the 1 hour charts. If you're not familiar with TradingView, there is videos. I'll go through that in a little bit here. But long story short, when this thing spikes way up there, that's at the top here, 71 bucks. That's typically when I will move those funds into true USD. This is for active trading. And then you can see it comes back down. Obviously it reverses pretty quickly, but could have picked it up, 67 bucks kind of thing. So 3-4%, a little bonus, if you can really call, right? So something I watch. When this price action, you can see how it's going fairly straight here, and yet the price is constantly going down. That tells me that it's going to keep dropping and dropping and dropping, especially, when we get a big spike like that, it rebounds. Like if that was coming down at the same angle on the RSI, if you follow my mouse, then I'd be like, okay, it's fairly balanced. So you can see from this point through to here, from here to here, let's see if we can do that. Yeah, so these points, they look pretty close to the same, right? So that's not where I would even attempt to try and buy and sell. Whereas where it's more oversold, you can really tell on the 4 hours peaks like this one here, where 107, I believe I parked mine at 102. So a little bit farther back, but then, I rode it all the way out here to 63 from 102. So that's, 40% drop. And it's actually, 60% increase if you buy back in. And that's just in, 3 weeks? 30th? Yeah, just 3.5 weeks kind of thing. So that's one of the indicators that we go through in back office here, guys. If you haven't checked this out already, definitely dig into it. It's the e-store in Python Signals. So you just need a free account and you can unlock all these videos. So TradingView is one of the free ones. If you want to get into the RSI indicator, it's 25 bucks. So I learned off YouTube. You don't have to purchase it, but definitely I would recommend. I don't know how many hours I wasted searching through YouTube to find this stuff. Days and days and weeks to figure it out on my own. These guys have it all in the back office. The big reason why we get people to set up a free account, even if they're not, active traders, if they're not upgrading right away, it's a big thing to go through. The only other thing, Lexi was asking about buying and selling Litecoin. So my strategy was here on Binance. Somebody's using Social Blade. Is that you, bro? So this is just a fun account. We do some trading examples. So once you have your BTC deposited in the account, you just come here where it says BTC, search Litecoin is the easiest, and you can buy. So I was talking earlier about the market trades. This is the easiest one here. It can be a little intimidating at first. Don't worry about it. It takes a little bit, but yeah. Oh, I can even buy 0.41 Litecoin. So it's just as easy as that. Select your market, 100% buy Litecoin. So same thing if you want to sell, you can set your percentages. You can type in the exact whatever if you want. No big deal. We dive into the limit orders a little bit more. For the most part, with what we do, it's not worth your time. I mean, you can get a little bit better prices, but for the most part, we're doing longer term trends. So if you pay 68.18 for Litecoin instead of 68.17, it's not going to make a big difference in the long run. Really doesn't, guys. So just go over deposits here quick. Once you've bought your Bitcoin, you just come in here, make sure it's selected, and copy the address. So that's all you put in. I'll use, I guess I can't. Same way, so you throw in the address. Be able, I'm obviously not going to send that much, but yeah, put the amount and hit submit. So for Binance, there is an email confirmation, but it's really not too bad. So I'm going to see here. Look at my phone. I'll just go through crypto.com here for you as well, Lexi.
Thank you.
It's a little bit newer, but I love this thing. This app is awesome. So you can come in here, either make your deposit. Typically,
Oh, it has zero.
yeah, this one's super cool. So you can buy pretty much whatever you want with this app. They're very, very awesome.
Yeah.
As far as purchasing,
Wallet. Oh.
they've got a lot of stuff here. Earn is what I was talking about before, so that's where you can lend them your crypto and they will pay you percentages. You can actually get a crypto loan now, so if you put in your Bitcoin, they'll give you 1.3 Bitcoin, I believe, for 1 Bitcoin. So you can actually leverage your crypto. I don't recommend it. I leverage my credit card any day. I don't leverage my crypto. I go through great lengths. But they got a card too, so that's very cool. I like this. I haven't got mine yet, but you can just buy and spend, use it just like a credit card. So
Okay.
deposits if you want with crypto, but where was it? This is what I was talking about. So you just link your bank account. They ask, the regular questions, but super easy. Just need your social security number and your residential address to get started. So that's the only thing that held me up. I don't have a social security number yet. Working on it. But yeah, they got a cool referral program too. So definitely we'll be introducing that more and more, playing with it more and more. But yeah, does that kind of answer your question, Lexi?
Yeah, it does, because I needed a kind of a start, kind of buy, and that answered it.
Perfect. Are you in the United States or in Canada?
I'm in the United States.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, absolutely. I would use crypto.com then.
Yep.
I know quite a few people have been very happy with it. So you said you had a few other questions as well?
Oh, it's just about Bitcoin. And do you ever think it's gonna get back up to 13K? I think was it last summer where it was 13K? I don't know.
December 2017, it hit
Yeah, that's correct.
19,800 USD, actually. And not financial advice, but Marius is predicting that we'll break that in the next month, kind of thing.
I believe so. Cause it's already at, what's it at? Like, it's just, is it still at 10K right now?
Um,
It like jumps up every time I
it
check.
was just about 11K, but it's coming back down. 10,500 right now.
Okay,
So,
okay,
according to Marius's last reports, it sounds like we're on the up and up from here on out. So I
okay.
figured we were going to see a cool off after that massive spike we saw over the last couple of days, which is pretty common, right? You can't go straight up forever. Some altcoins, we might see that happen here pretty quick. It's pretty interesting. Marius had a few calls that were 100% growth in a day kind of thing. So that'll be pretty exciting. Brody, did you have that 7 steps handy by chance?
Yes, I do. Do you
Awesome.
have it here? Do you want me? I can bring it up for everyone here
Sure.
too.
Yeah, that'd be great. A little different tonight. We wanted to go through the 7 steps. 7 step action plan to reaching your full potential is simple. So, buy Bitcoin. We went through that a little bit earlier tonight. We do have the Bitcoin Beginner's Guide if anyone doesn't have it yet. Uh, it's great information just to understand some of the basics. It's, for the most part, I mean, you don't need to understand the in-depth technology. I do recommend it, obviously, just to know what you're working with, but that's your call, right? So the growth tools that we're talking about is Python signals. Free account is an absolute must. I do recommend getting a paid account as well. Just this last trade, what I was talking about, parking my funds there a few days back and buying back in, because of Marius's call, we got a blog report saying that we're doing an emergency go live at this time, have to be on it. And because of that call, being there on time and having that report sent to me, which is an upgraded uh, account bonus, I paid for 3 years worth of subscriptions in one move, right? So I couldn't recommend it enough, whether you're playing with, a few $100s or, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars. Obviously, it would be massively beneficial, but even a few $100, um, it makes the biggest difference. So I was telling my story a little bit earlier. I did a video today, even of, 6,000% growth on one side with my Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is my first purchases. Then also I lost $100,000 on using a lending platform because they closed the doors. I was listening to marketers, bunch of hype instead of people that actually knew what they were talking about. So we have that team. We have everything arranged for you guys. I can't, say it enough. Just show up, learn, ask questions, and we'll save you the headaches that we went through as we learned.
Yeah.
The way I look at it too is like going into any financial endeavor, like any type of business can be a risk, and it can be scary in the beginning. And obviously you want to do what's best for you and the people surrounding you that you support. But with so many other opportunities, I'll just call it, and I just even want to say, even just with the regular dollar, we don't get information and training on like where we should be putting it, what's best case use, and how to manage it properly. And it creates this fear a little bit, this fear of it like maybe not working out or it not being enough. And that can stop us from doing our daily stuff that we want to do as well, right? But my experience with this now is because I used to witness two different types of crypto or Bitcoin investors. One person that comes in and the market goes up and they're really excited and they have a really great time, right? And it's really just timing, because another person can come in when the market's really high and then they can lose right off the mark and they're like, oh my God. But more importantly, the guy that wins off of it, he's kind of stuck in a place where he's like, oh dude, this is amazing, I'll just invest more and it'll just be great, and it keeps going like this. And that's not always the case for some people, right? And so if you don't have reports, if you don't know where it's going, you're just gambling, if you're just kind of just throwing money at it. And so that person gets very highly discouraged after the next time that without the proper information, without the proper training, it really is just gambling. But then once you start having the clarity through having a mentor, having a guide, having these reports, it really brings a lot of confidence back into your life and your ability to go back out and do your regular stuff, because you have an exit plan, or you're working on it and you're working on yourself, and then you're in control of your finances and stuff too, right? And that's kind of comes back to the main point. You can't do that with regular money. It's very up in the air whether or not it's going to be fine. Whereas this, you spend some time, and it takes time, effort, and energy, but it's something that everyone can do 30 minutes in their afternoon or after work or whatever like that. Monitor the little bit. It's no different than monitoring your online bank account is what these tools eventually become, like the tasks that are involved, setting up an account, logging in, reading it. It's no different than like reading your bank statement and stuff like that, but that doesn't ever grow you anything. It just causes you more, possibly for some people. And I feel like the greater majority just causes more fear and more doubt of it. Like, whereas this, it can be really uplifting and it can be really motivating. And obviously once you start making money, that's great motivation as well with it too. But the skills, the confidence, everything that comes with it. And then we've designed it into, and why we call it simple, very simple approach, so that your grandma or someone even brand new to it, anyone like that, can really attach onto these and start applying them. And it kind of goes well into our third step too here, this complete the basic training. You're not really giving yourself a full chance at this if you haven't gone ahead and completed that basic training, because that is really great information that, probably even a couple of years ago, Corey, would have been hard to find, and probably even something that possibly someone even had to pay for. Like, I'm assuming, probably was for free, but
I found that it was $137 a month to get the stuff that we're giving away free, guys. Or no, it was more than that. It was $199 a month when I started, up to $237 for the more advanced stuff. And it's just, stuff that you could find on YouTube, really. But it was the first people to put together it all in one place, and they're charging an amazing amount of money for it. And there's no need for it in cryptocurrencies, right?
Yeah.
I was talking a little bit more about affiliates and some of that stuff, like just using, we always appreciate if you guys use our links, just because, it helps, pay the bills when we're doing the free trainings and stuff like that. Not, guilting anyone into it, but that's how we're able to do this. Like traditional marketing, I wasn't able to do free web classes 3 times a week or anything like that. Like I was on the phone doing sales. Like it's sales versus this is education, right? So just like the internet changed basically every other industry, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will change finances just as staggering. I did create a new little training session or section here if you guys want. So it's just so.co.in/inner circle. Whoops. Whoops. And, oh man, this little link right here, and it'll break it down. It's mobile friendly. Looks a little funny on the desktop, but just steps to getting started, right? So set up your Python Signals account, Bitcoin Beginner's Guide, set up your trading account, and there's steps and videos for each section. So this actually brings us over to YouTube. So we've got both Facebook and YouTube coming through. We'll be adding more and more videos as we progress, but definitely for now, it's a great place to start. So if you haven't already, jump on a complimentary strategy session with us. Either Brody or myself, we're more than happy to walk you guys through, even just answering your questions, but, basic setup, walking through the first Bitcoin purchase. I'm more than happy to, like, that was absolutely nerve-wracking when I first started, sending even $50. It felt a little sketchy. It's totally normal. It's no different than, sending an e-transfer in Canada. I'm not sure what the States has, but yeah, and then just a link for the strategy session there. So definitely a good place to start, all in one place. Thanks for dropping in the chat there, Brody. But yeah, definitely steps to get started. What was the next one there?
The next one, I'll bring up my screen again here. So study blogs and weekly calls. And something that's really cool is like, obviously we're active, as you can tell, and doing trades and stuff very actively. And as the market moves, we're going to be having these calls every week. So you probably will get some good tells by coming to these strategy sessions and stuff. And we're not going to let you hold your money in if it's a definite, okay guys, park your funds, go do something, invest in some other things while Bitcoin takes a break here, so you're going to be able to get with that. But if you want to start taking a more responsible approach, active approach, professional approach, definitely getting in with the Python Signals account, you're going to be able to start studying the blogs and the weekly calls that come through. And it's not just information, it definitely is training, because by the time you leave there, Marius will always give you some sort of really helpful insight into some deeper level of thinking about Bitcoin or about the tools you're using or about something. And he definitely, I've become a much more professional, or much more, maybe professional is not the word, but after, capable trader, capable person with my finances, and just, more clear on that just by hanging around him on those weekly calls and stuff. So that's super important. And it's kind of like showing up to your, obviously this is a passive stream business. There's not a lot of active enrolling or pitching or doing anything like that and stuff on this side of things. But you do still need to show up to your business, no different than any type of other business. If you don't come in and open up the doors in the morning, well, then how do you expect to ever see any new growth coming in, right? And it's very similar to trading and doing this. You do have to do your research, and it can, like I said, it could be 30 minutes a day. And lots of times if you're doing 30 minutes a day consistently, it'll probably only be 5 or 10 minutes, because it'll be very similar to what you're just keeping an active, aware look at what's going on with everything and then making your decisions moving forward. But that'll all come from you showing up, and that's kind of my little blurb on that.
Oh, it's huge. Consistency, guys. I can't preach it enough. Yeah, like even just you're using the washroom in the morning or whatever, like hop on, read the calls, and yeah, catch up. Like Brody said, we're not going to let you fail. I'm always giving away little tidbits, but the upgraded version gives you so much more in-depth knowledge that it pays for itself many times over. Um,
Yeah, and
participating.
it's basically not only on par, but like you're not going to find anything else out there that gives you this ability to create this type of income for that. Like, you know, and we can get into cost, but it's less than $50, around $50 a month. Obviously, can't buy a monthly package anymore. 3 months is the minimum. That's why we say with our promise, you know, coming with the 150 pack. But honestly, if you start looking into what else is out there, you're going to spend way more time, effort, and energy, and then probably be still left kind of where you're at, because it takes a while to learn a lot of those skills. Whereas this stuff, passive income earning, it's getting your foot in the door into this type of arena, and definitely something easy for people to start doing right away. And that's why I enjoy sharing it with people, because I know it's something they can do in the end. It's not this, like Corey is maybe mentioning at the start, the hype thing where it's like, oh, you're going to come in and you're going to do amazing, and it's going to be like all this grand type of like reality that they tell you to get you to purchase like a car salesman like that. You
Yeah.
know, but we're really, what is the intention in mind? They want you to get in that car and drive that car out of the lot. You know, they do care about your safety, maybe they do care that you get the right vehicle, but it's the commission on the end. Whereas this, like, you guys are handling your own money. It's all within your own things like that. It's not about that. You know, there are different faucets, which is really nice with crypto and Bitcoin, where you can make additional income streams just by sharing, just by helping, just by inspiring people to get control of their finances. It's kind of a win-win. But in other places, that's the whole thing. That's just the whole game, is just to get other people's money. And that doesn't seem like something that I align with as much. And that's what I realize more and more, where stuff like this, these types of streams where it's more you and just kind of on you, and not having to deal with massive teams or anything like that, or dealing with lots of people. You know, even having a traditional business, one of the first things you run into is you do get to hire your own people, but managing people is still managing people, and it has its ups and downs, and it's not always sunshine and roses as everyone can maybe think off the beginning. So this is just a great way.
Yeah, totally. And if you guys have people that are interested, like, don't feel that you have to show them everything yourself. Like, introduce them to Brody or myself, and we're more than happy to, you know, hop on a call, guide them through, and really show them the path too, right? Like, use us as a resource. We're here, we're, you know, dedicating time to make sure that you guys succeed, and we want to see you super happy too, right? So a part of that, if you're interested in doing some coaching and training, mentorship, then let us know. We've got Coaching Academy up and coming. I'm hoping to have everything ready here, you know, by we're calling next Thursday. I'm hoping to have it done by this weekend, and then fine tuning things over next week. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a viable option. So there's a lot of money to be made. The best part about this is you're not making it off of other people. The businesses themselves are paying us to do this, right? To be educators. It's the new way of learning. There's no doubt in my mind. Like, internet courses, Duolingo, the one I'm using to learn Spanish right now, it's more used by United States. There's an ad on it. More widely used by people in the US to learn another language than the school systems already. So I just learned about it a few months ago. I didn't even know it existed, but it's already one of the most popular sources of learning a new language, right? So that's just the States, never mind the rest of the world. So I really think that's going to be a way of the future. So don't hesitate to reach out if you're interested. If you enjoy helping people, I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and like that coaching call too. I mean, some people might think that's a little daunting, but we can talk about Bitcoin. We can even just talk about setting up your initial goals, you know, just setting up that roadmap. And once that's a little bit more clear, maybe you don't have the funds ready, whatever it is, and things like that, but you start creating a plan, and then you're like, but this is my plan to have this ready to start investing on this date. Once you start setting that date and you start setting that intention, it is really powerful, you guys, especially when you have a supported, safe group like this where you can bounce ideas off with. And as certain things pop up, and this is where I'm bringing the conversation in now as we get in closer to the step 7, because this is more of a coaching academy type of conversation, but they're gonna cross over lots, especially when we come to this step in this too, because I realized very early on in my life that if I wanted to become more and do more and help people more, I'd have to start serving and start helping out people more. That making more connections, being a good servant, being a good steward. It's had a huge impact on my life. And it's one thing that I initially thought really wasn't the whole point. It's like, I got to take care of me. I got to take care of everything that's all over here. You know, you don't understand that I got things to take care of, like, you know, type of thing. But you miss the point. You miss out on others. You treat others indifferently, all for the goal of making sure that you get ahead, right? And that'll get you to a certain point in business. There's probably lots of millionaires that have that mindset 100% and stuff, but it only gets you so far. And you can burn a lot of bridges doing it that way too, where if you come from a serving first, kind of a serving forward, not only will you go to bed like feeling amazing at night, but you'll naturally inspire others around you. And then if you have a stream where, you know, where it would help to have more help, I guess the best way to explain it is if you have an income stream where you need more help with other people, the best way to start getting more help from other people is by helping other people. It's like what you do and how you serve to others is going to reflect back on you and stuff too. And so I have a lot of businesses where, you know, and make direct sales and do certain things and certain commissions like that. And that's been a huge aspect to me and growing wealth in an active income stream type of business, where it takes me setting up meetings, going on calls, seeing what people have to offer, seeing what they are seeing, and them seeing what I have to offer, and seeing if we can work out a partnership. That comes from serving first. And just like, if you can practice that earlier on, and then so like asking around if anyone needs help with stuff like this, sharing the guide, you know, once they've shared the guide, following up with them and asking them if they'd be interested in leveraging something, you know, along the lines of an inner circle that does all these certain qualities. Just basically explain it in a way that it's what it's done for you. And maybe there's not a big income stream off of the end of just inviting someone to the inner circle right off the start, but you don't realize how much riches is involved when you start like literally just helping people first. It is kind of like I'll just drop the magic word, but like things start working out a lot better for you too when you start just naturally helping people first without trying to be like, what's all involved for me, or what am I going to get out of it out of the end. Just help and move on with your day, because you don't even know the good and the ripple and everything that it causes by doing that every time. And so that's my little coaching and helping others section.
I 100% vouch for it. My life changed drastically when I started helping other people, putting them before myself. Like there was a point in my life where I was absolutely miserable. Like I had the houses, the cars, you know, the high-paying job and all that, and it didn't mean anything. I'd way rather be doing what I'm doing now than doing that any day. Like I walked away from that life as the best decision I've ever made in my life. And yeah, there's months where, you know, I don't make anything, not a dime, probably even lose something. And it's still, you know, I wake up with a smile on my face. I'm living life exactly how I want to live. And, you know, surround myself with awesome individuals such as you guys, Brody. Like, it's an amazing time we live in. So they say that you are the 5 people you hang out with most. So choose wisely, right? Like, I couldn't say it enough. Like, I love the team, love what we're doing, love the vision, and I've done a lot of searching. Like, you can pretty well name any program out there, and I've researched it. I've talked to the CEOs, the founders, and this is by far the best. Like, not, you know, I might be a little biased because I helped build it.
Are you ready to release that new arbitrage portion to everyone, or is it going to be?
We'll do a little teaser here first. We've got another week of upgrades with the exchange, but absolutely. So we've got some passive income streams coming out, you guys. SafeCoin with Safe Nodes I was talking about a little earlier on the Bitcoin call. I actually got the CEO on the phone right afterwards, and he's going to be showing up next week and doing a guest appearance with us. We're going to have a little interview, go through the advantages. But passive income earning, I think I was paid 6 times before I got out of bed this morning just from the safe nodes. It's a way of verifying transactions, basically super basic, and you get rewarded with a commission. You don't actually do the work. It's running on a server, often another, it's in the United States, mine is. But yeah, it's a way to use those investment dollars and get paid more crypto. So it's 10,000 safe coin is the initial, and then you'll get paid every single day, and it just keeps building and building and building. The arbitrage trading is just trading between one exchange and the other for percentage profits. So you're supplying liquidity, you're buying the coins, and then making 10-15% on those trades. So we've got Nice Coin coming up. They'll be released it's already running, but we're finishing some upgrades on the exchange. I don't want to do too much hype. I love them. I've been working with the guys for a year and a half now, but that's another means of putting those investment dollars to use. Like, it's not, paying in USD, it's paying in Bitcoin, right? So rather than throwing it up on one of those platforms, the lending platforms I was talking about, how I lost my first $100,000 in the crypto market, just because they're tough to vet. Like, at the end of the day, it's a company that could be in, the UAE or wherever. You got to really do your due diligence. Whereas these guys, we've been working with them for a year and a half. I could knock on the guy's door, Jeff. Like, I've sat down, had meetings with him, had a tequila with him. I know where he lives at least. So you got a little bit more confidence working with them.
That's cool. And just with anything, especially when newer things pop up, I've learned this lots in life, because there's people out there that I call it the shiny shiny object syndrome or whatever like that. When you see that shiny object and they're like, ooh, and you go over to it and it can sound great and it can be great, but until you fully experience it, until you go through it, you got to see what your withdrawal is. You got to see what your experience is. So steps, move slowly. Don't stay in one spot and never ever move from it, because that's kind of ridiculous too, right? That's like the tinfoil hat wearing person, where they're like, oh no, everything's a lie, everything's a mess, I'll just stay in my home. But you move slowly, and there starts to be some things that you do have a great experience with. Hold those closer, keep those closer to home, and put more time, effort, and energy into that. And then as newer things come up, feel free to put a little bit of time and effort, energy, maybe a little bit. What I mean, even if you had, say, a diversified account of $1,000 like that, you'd maybe take 5 or 10% of that from your earnings, maybe actually even too, from what you've earned from another income stream, and move that over and try and do that as much as possible. And so you're never ever pulling out money from your career or whatever, your savings and stuff like that. You're just creating more income streams that create a little bit more, and then going off and starting other ones. And then you can get to a position where, Corey, I don't know how many, but it's a very high number of income streams that kind of makes people's heads go, what? But it's just by doing that more and more, and just making your money work from you, and doing these steps now, so that you can have these faucets working for you as you get older, and as we get into more positions where we can't work on a career and make career money because our body literally starts to shut down. So, and then you have these things that can make your money work for you. And it's a concept that I learned, 3.5 years ago, and I still really enjoy it, and I still learn and learn about financial IQ. But when you start understanding your money more, it can start doing some amazing things for you. But it takes your time to understand, to make these differences and these changes now, so that you can have a change and a difference in the near future.
Absolutely. You're investing in yourself, right? Like, as an employee, I always, pissed away my earnings, justifying that life. Anyway, it wasn't anyone else but me that was putting that pressure on. But man, I wish I could have, turned back time and just put away a little, like 10% more, 10% of what I spent in the bar. I had real estate and all that. I did pretty good, but could have done better. But
I did terrible. I could have put away anything more than what I did, and I would have been a lot better off. But you don't have that type of hindsight until you get into a circle like this, and then you have to like break some of those old habits of what you've had been doing. It doesn't just like, okay, great, I'm going to do that tomorrow. Is a great thought, but then in actuality, it takes some time to kind of rid yourself of some of those old beliefs and some of those old patterns. But that's why this is going to be so powerful, a safe space for us to kind of share and ask questions every Tuesday and keep growing together like this.
Absolutely. Did anyone have any more questions? Lexi, I think you said you had a couple, but that was more Bitcoin we had answered at the beginning.
Yeah, yes, sir. We got them all covered.
Awesome. Did my job. I guess I can sleep well tonight.
Yeah, y'all are good. Y'all are good with the information every time I hop on.
Awesome.
So I think this would be really powerful, everyone, too. I mean, this is all your own choice and your own decision, but I want to motivate and help you guys and maybe help you push the needle towards getting a little closer. And so you don't need to actively show me, but I'm sure if this is something that's important to you, it'd be really valuable to write out a couple action steps on what to kind of put your mind forward on, like what would be something that would get me closer to X, Y, or Z. You don't have to just be like my big fat bank account. You can start wrapping your goals around around things that are more important to you than maybe just even money like that, you know. So children and maybe certain luxury items is fine and stuff like that off the start, and start creating that version of what you kind of want to create. And then what are some action steps that we've mentioned on this call and certain places that you could maybe spend the next half an hour or whatever, you know. And that's where it's like no pressure, but that's how you get closer to all these different things and stuff like that. Now is setting a couple action steps, 3 of them, and then crushing them out, you know, and then seeing where you're at after that. And I always feel amazing after that. I know, like, that's just the whole progress with this is like, I fucking did it, even if it's something super simple.
Absolutely. And that's something we can cover on the coaching call too, if you guys are a little unsure.
I will say one thing, like one goal that I have while working with this is kind of starting my t-shirt company.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
been working on logos and stuff, and I really want to start like selling my own t-shirts and, you know, doing that sort of thing. I create cartoons, all types of stuff. I actually went to school for graphic design a little bit, but
very cool.
This is cool because this is what happens with this. I feel that once you're in the space, really cool ideas start to come to play, and passive income in Bitcoin is going to be one avenue of that. But I think you'll really enjoy the coaching academy, the Simple Coaching Academy. It doesn't matter if you're in there quite yet. We'll make sure you get in there when we're opening it up in the next week here. But that's exactly what it's for. Let's say you're not this crazy into Bitcoin, but you know it's valuable, you know it's good, but you actually have this other desire, dream, something that you want everyone to see. Coaching Academy is going to show you how to get that in front of more people, how to inspire more people with that, and how that kind of like how we do our business online, and how you could very easily start doing that for whatever business you have too. And what that would mean is more people being able to see your awesome t-shirts, right, Lexi?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's a dream of mine.
Brody and I can, you know, show you how to set up an online store and do all that fun stuff too, right? Like that's a big goal of mine this year, is to help 100 people turn their passions into full-time incomes, right? So whether that's, you know, yoga instructor or playing video games, I got 2 gamers already working away, or e-stores, that's 100% up our alley. So yeah, 100%. We can get you in there.
Sounds nuts at first when someone's like, you're gonna show me how to like turn my like everything that I love into actually like my like job, and then so I get to do what I love for the rest of my life. But now with the technology, the automations, and like the ability to just do it yourself and not have to rely on like a huge 10 or 15 person team like it was back in the day, and pay rent, pay employees, pay overhead, and all these things, like all those things are starting to evaporate more with newer business. And what ends up happening is, I say this on the call with someone, I don't care if it's watercoloring. Like I could show you how to package that, put a nice little bow on that, and inspire people. And I was like, this is simple. Watercoloring, I don't know if you ever finger painted. Finger painting with your hands improves your creativity by like 30 to 40%.
Yeah.
and come check out my free course, you know, that shows you exactly that. You inspire them with this new creative finger painting thing that they never even thought would be valuable, but now it's valuable to them. And then, you know, they grab your t-shirt on the way out or whatever it is, you know, like it starts to play out, and then you start to realize it's like, well, if it's just, if I enjoy it and if I can inspire people enough to the point where they're inspired, they enjoy it too. Now you've created a whole life around it. And that's what people are doing like every day on YouTube. Like it's just like incredible what you see. Or TikTok, open up the app TikTok. And if you think that you can't like turn whatever your cool, unique, weird thing is into something, go on that app and just watch a 16-year-old with like 100,000 followers be himself and unapologetically. And then you'll sit down and be like, huh, I think I can do this too.
Yeah, this kid's going crazy on TikTok right now. Like
Right.
they love that app.
Exactly.
There's an
Exactly.
8-year-old. Someone was telling me about him. I checked him out, but I'm pretty sure he's 8 years old, and he just opens up toys and makes millions of dollars a year.
Yeah.
Toys on YouTube.
There's one of the most famous YouTube channels is called What's Inside, and that was all started with a kid's curiosity of what is inside of a certain thing, and his dad was like, I don't know, well, let's cut it open and let's record it and let's put it on YouTube. And that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. And you said, and like when you say it like that, it's like, what? But then you sit there and you watch it for so long because it is inspiring. It is lovely, and it's like changed these people's lives now. You know, it's so simple, but it's like, what is yours going to be? Really, who cares? It's going to be something that's close to you. It's going to be something that you enjoy. Just know that people are doing it. It's possible. Bitcoin is a great way to enter your foot in the door, but it does open it up to so much more than that.
Absolutely. I can't say it enough. Like, I'd never pretend that I'm, living on private jets or on a yacht here down in Mexico, but you can focus on your passion when your rent's paid by, trading Bitcoin or whatever. It allows you to focus that time, like that extra 40 hours a week, where you can invest that into yourself rather than working for someone else. It's life-changing. Absolutely.
A really powerful question, if like, especially with people, like I found it was really hard to write out goals. I didn't feel worthy of any of them, and I just like didn't enjoy the process at first, but people kept telling me, do it, it's good. But a great way to kind of like conceptualize and get yourself into a good mode is just, for one, just remove any past, future, present, or anything of what's happened in your life, and just kind of create a safe space to think about this and be like, if I had all the money in the world, all the time in the world, everything was taken care of, what would I be doing right now? And when you get that answer, you'll know more closely what you were put here on this earth to do. But we kind of like limit ourselves because of our circumstances, our time, or money, or whatever, from being that. But dream for a second, and then just like reel it all back and be like, okay, but what are some steps right now that I can do right now? And then just let it flow, let it go. Like, let that big dream kind of just ride and know that it's coming towards you. And then you'll see certain things just in your immediate reality that is easy, that you can do, that you can just start on. And then that's how you get the ball rolling.
It's amazing. I love that analogy. It's
powerful. Yes. Sweet.
Beautiful. Well, if we don't have any other questions, guys, I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. It's definitely love the energy tonight.
It was good. We had William join on the group and Mark. And I think even Mark was in here for a bit. So everyone joining, wherever you joined, thanks a lot. Just really appreciate. And hopefully you got everything you need. And then if you have questions pop up throughout the week, save them, drop them in this feed, and then we'll see you next Tuesday.
Absolutely. Well, have yourselves a great night. Thanks again, and we'll chat with you soon.
Later.